I just need time to clear my head. Fires up, embers burn, can't pretend, yeah. And I've been thinking about things that we said, yeah. And I've been up all night lately, thinking about you, yeah. Are we just holding on? We're scared, still bruised, yeah, yeah. You messed me up, fucked me up, just can't stop, no. I told me I don't need nobody, but every night I'm feeling something for you, yeah. You messed me up, fucked me up, thinking about you. Thinking about you. Are we just satellites by the edge? Burning up, spinning round till an end, yeah. And I've been thinking about things that you said, yeah. And I've been up all night lately, thinking about you, yeah. Are we just holding on? We're scared, still bruised, yeah, yeah. You messed me up, fucked me up, just can't stop, no. I told me I don't need nobody, but every night I'm feeling something for you, yeah. You messed me up, fucked me up, thinking about you. Thinking about Thinking about I told me I don't need nobody, but every night I'm feeling something. I told me I don't need nobody, but every night I'm feeling something for you, yeah. You messed me up, fucked me up, thinking about you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Myles Dyer Live. I'm Myles Dyer, where every Wednesday we hang out here talking about the fun and the serious. When it's fun, it's quizzes, it's pop culture, music, gaming, all that. And other times we take it a bit more serious, maybe life hacks, mental health and well-being, world events, and other times we just have a bit of everything in between. I am currently still not living at home, and so I rush here through the cold. Still no heating in the home, but my kitchen is a project that just keeps on evolving, and it is going to look amazing, but I definitely do miss living at home. And so my regular Let's Plays live streams that I do in the world of VR should be kicking back into action, I would say next week, but this time next week I'm going to be in Boston, Massachusetts for PAX East for the Game Cat meetup. For PSVR without parole, which is going to be really, really cool. So if anyone's going out there, look forward to seeing you there. And for those of you that don't even know what that's about, PAX East is a yearly East Coast gaming convention, and PSVR without parole, the American show I do, I co-host every Friday. We're meeting up, and it's going to be the first time I meet my co-hosts in person. Going to meet a lot of the Game Cats. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful time. Really, really looking forward to it. And yeah, there's just been a lot going on. A lot of things going on. And I saw Karina in the chat. Good to have you back, Karina. I know you've been taking a bit of a break. Also, ecstatic to see that we have this penguin emoji now that I believe we turned on last week. Everything seems like a bit of a blur at the moment. But how is everyone doing? We've got Mojo in the chat. We've got Ciago. We've got Cali Timecat. We've got Clem Fandango. We've got Nick Mulo. How are we all doing? Karina, of course. How is everyone doing? I'm scrolling right up now. David VR. We got Roy. Good to see you, Roy. Thank you, everyone. It's wonderful to have you here. Lots to talk about, and going to be joined by an awesome guest in a short moment. But first, a few bits of housekeeping. 2 weeks ago, I launched a merchandise store, and a day later, I took it offline because there were a lot of privacy issues. This was a recommended merch store from YouTube, so it integrated to your YouTube channel straight away, which was great. And one of you already bought a mug, so you got a limited edition, one-of-a-kind mug, because no more of them are going to be produced, which was Canic Tunes. I've offered to send you some extra goodies in the post soon. But the last week, I have actually been building a new store. I have found this website that is excellent for setting up merchandise. They're called Fourth Wall. And I've actually had a conversation with some of their people going through what I want to do, and I could go into all the details now, but it's going to be far too boring, although I find it absolutely fascinating. I have ordered samples of everything that I'm going to be selling because I want to check it, especially after what happened last time, although the mug that was bought looked decent and could possibly be better than the one I've got here. So I haven't received all the merchandise yet, but once I have and have tested it, I will then be making the merch store go live. It's available at questforempathy.com because I've never used that URL that I own, so I thought, why not? But if you go there now, it just says coming soon, and you can join the mailing list to be notified when the store goes live. And what's really, really cute is the shirts are going to have the Empathy Arcade icon in the collar bit. But without further ado, let's just go in and have a look at some of the merchandise. Actually, I'm going to do that 1 second. I know some of you are going to love this one. Headbite, welcome. How you doing? These are both mugs because different factories produce the different products, so they're all going to come at different times. So this is the first mug. It's a black mug, of course. It's the Myles Dyer Live show mug, which is nice, super cool. With this print note, it's a bit off-center from this side, so this is going to move around a little bit. So I've corrected that for future prints. But in terms of the design and the look, it looks great. There we go. So an official Myles Dyer Live mug. This will be on sale for April, so that's number one. I'm really, really happy about that. Makes a good mug. Makes a good mug. And then, secondly, it's another mug. This one will definitely be for a niche audience. But it's a mug that is white and orange on the inside. And what's the design? It is me getting bopped on the head by a penguin on Kayak VR. And for anyone who hasn't yet joined our Discord, Empathy Arcade, this penguin here is the moderator. And you can have conversations with the penguin if you want. But yeah, the Kayak VR, me getting bopped on the head mug is going to be on the store as well. And I just love the colours. I went for the orange design on the edge to go with the paddle. And the T-shirt designs we've got coming are so, so good. A lot of them I actually got designed last year, but there was so much going on and time passed very, very quickly. Whereas in the last couple of weeks, I was like, you know what? I need to take this moment and get these up and running. So these will be on sale in... Everyone's liking it. Everyone likes the penguin. I think the penguin one's going to be very popular. The store should open once I get back from the States, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And I'm going to be wearing all the merch myself as well, because a lot of them are things that I would wear. So there is that. Next up, as we always do on these live shows, is we have a puzzle in the background. It is pinned in the live chat if you are watching live. bit.ly.com/MDL137puzzle. And you are all going absolutely mad on this at the moment. So the way it works is you click on a block, and then you click on another, and it swaps them around. And it is the thumbnail of this episode. And it's always something to do in the background. Some of you want to be busy while listening to this. So let's see how you get on there. It's a... Was it a 400 and... I think it was a 480-piece puzzle. Didn't do it for the most complex because there's a lot of similar pieces. So I didn't want it to be too difficult. But yeah, crack on with that and see how you get on. And then... Finally, before we get to the main part of the show, two things. One, Vitamin G. Every week, We like Penguin Justice is a great name for the mug. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Everyone's doing the penguin stuff. This is so good. I'll take a penguin battery mug. All these names are way better than the one I've come up with. I can't even remember what I've called it on the store. Is it a puffin from Walkabout Mini Golf? Yeah, for those that don't know, I was on Friday's show of PSVR without parole talking about the new Walkabout Mini Golf course, which is the ice layer. And I said there were penguins, but they were actually puffins. When I played the game, I thought they were puffins, but I thought maybe they're just really poorly animated penguins, so I called them penguins. And it turns out, no, they were meant to be puffins, and it was really, really great. Please check the T-shirt sizing. Yep, well, the store has all the sizings on it, so I've ordered a medium of one design and a small of another, because I tend to bounce between both. And I am going to be modelling them for the store as well, so stay tuned for that. Can you get the penguin in a judge wig for the Justice theme? I might have to go back and design that. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, Vitamin G. And it's good to have you back, Karina. Lovely, lovely to have you back. We take a moment every week just to think about what we're grateful for. And I always say to people, this is something you can practice every day. I often do it when my head hits the pillow at night, just thinking about 3 things I'm grateful for. They don't have to be big and grandiose. They can be small things. And just thinking about what you're grateful for can, radically change your mental health for the better. And so during this part of the show, I just invite you all to share one thing that you're grateful for, and you can keep it to yourself as well. Not everyone wants to share things. Just thinking about it can be really, really beneficial. My vitamin G, I'm going to share in just a moment because it actually ties in with my Dyer discovery. But I guess I could give it as a little prelude while you're all typing it away. On Saturday, I went to the O2 Arena in London to meet up with a game cat, Rhodey the game cat. Joe was amazing. He is a roadie for Brad Paisley, one of the world's biggest country acts. And he's a big supporter of the PSVR Without Parole community. And he said, hey, Myles, I'm going to be in London on tour. Do you want to come to the show? And so he got me 2 tickets to the O2 Arena backstage VIP. And it was absolutely incredible. And it wasn't just you turn up backstage and then you get on and, do what you want. He took us around. He showed us everything. And I'll show you some video clips in a minute. I'm just going to go through everyone's vitamin G. But it was just one of those moments where I thought it just reaffirms the belief that life is about finding good quality people that, you're in tune with, that go beyond the port of call, and just have energy to give others, because I give a lot of energy to other people. And when you find people that are just decent, good people, I think that's just what makes life so wonderful. And so a massive shout out to Joe, who was just absolutely incredible. So yeah, Karina already gave her vitamin G. Grateful to be back. It is good to have you back. Let's see a couple more. We've got Callie Timecat, who says, trialing a new working apern. Is that apprentice? Is that what it's meant to be? I don't know. Very grateful for that and hoping it works out. Grateful top my boss for agreeing to let me trial it. I have to say, I don't fully understand that. So if you could explain that, it's probably me being stupid. So, yeah. Clem Fandango says, Olbus inhaler sticks. Are you all just coming up with alien stuff, or am I just out of touch? Like, you need to explain all this stuff, because I am clearly really, really ignorant. Brad Paisley, unironically, one of my favourite guitar players. Dude, he is amazing. I've got a really cool clip to show you. You saw the videos, yeah. Anyone that follows me on Instagram, you will see it. And David says, Vitamin G, having good friends. Good friends, it's what it's about. It's what it's about. It's what it's about. Working pattern. Gotcha. You definitely look and sound happier this week. I definitely feel that way. I think it's because I've got a really cool person that's going to be joining me on the show, which is just going to definitely lift the conversation this week, because normally it's me just racing here. I got here in good time and did some planning. I have been pretty depressed this week still, but I've had some good experiences, and I just love doing this. So yeah, as of right now, I'm feeling really, really good. Whereas at dinner time tonight with my family, they knew I was depressed. I've got a nightmare story to tell you guys sometime, but I'll save it for another time. All I'd say, actually, no, I can tell the story now. Basically, my brother bought me Bitcoin, a bit of Bitcoin 13 years ago. It was like 0.06 of a coin. It was like £20. It's now worth like 4 or 5 grand. And I've had access to it. But because of the stress of everything I've been going through lately, my password hasn't been working. And then there's a backup key, and I can't find it. So I've been going through all the notebooks in my house, because basically this password is worth 4 to 5 grand. And at a time where I'm job hunting, never have I felt so stressed. So I actually need to just step away from it and come back to it, because it will come back to me. It's been pretty remarkable. Anyway, yeah, Bitcoin is at an all-time high. I think it's worth like 68 grand a piece or something like that. It's been doing very, very good. Right, let me just show you a few of these clips, and then we'll get on with the show. This, first of all, this was Jay Cohen. It was really cool seeing people getting into country in the UK. I was like, what? Obviously, people are into the genre, but country is so associated with identity of like the South. But Jay Cohen was full of charisma, and it was awesome. And here's Rhodey showing us. Rhodey, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rhodey, Joe Monahan, here in London with my buddy Myles and Johnny, hanging for the show.
This is amazing. He's going to get me to do some guitar tech. I'm going to be tuning Brad's guitar before he goes on.
It's a drop D.
Oh. Thanks, buddy. There you go. Always take a freebie. Look at this, mate.
They're like currency on the road.
It was just absolutely incredible. And as you'll see, I was wearing a cowboy hat because obviously that's what you do at an event like this.
Yeah, take a look at these guitars. So how many guitars?
Yeah, really, really good.
No, I never counted them.
It was an amazing event. So a massive shout out to Rhodey, because we just hung out backstage, and he does all the sort of the videos and that while people are playing. So actually, I think I do have a clip here. I filmed him in the wild. There he is doing his stuff. Being busy. I just recorded this so if his boss asked why he wasn't working, I could say, look, no, here he is here. He's working. He's working. Yeah. Rhodey, what a hero. What a hero indeed. Anyway, people, it's time to get on with the main part of the show. In that clip, you would have seen Johnny, who I often talk about, and Without Parole, we do a lot of VR gaming together when I'm not on the same time zone as Brian and all that lot. Funnily enough, Johnny's brother is about to join us, Daniel, who I've known for many, many years, obviously knowing Johnny as well, and he is an ambassador for Open Bionics. You might be asking, what is Open Bionics? Well, this is literally what we're going to be talking about, and also 3D printing as well. So before we bring him on, this video is a great introduction of some of the stuff he does, and then we're just going to chill and hang out, because honestly, I know very little about all this, and so if you have any questions, put a Q in the comment section below with your question, and then I can save them, and then we can bring them up towards the end. But everybody, welcome Daniel.
I am an independent designer and maker. I was born without a hand and felt limited. Now I design, work with tools, and 3D print. I feel like I have no limits. Technology has changed my life. I may look like a superhero from a sci-fi film, but my real superpower is being able to do what others take for granted. I'm Dan, I am bionic.
Yo, Dan, how you doing? I keep calling you Dan. It's Daniel. You prefer Daniel, right? Oh wait, I can't hear you. 1 second.
I say that's an incredibly old video, but it was probably the most, like you said, we said earlier, like it's the most to the point. So yeah,
Dude, it's
How
a
you doing?
badass video, man. I mean, you've literally got a hand being 3D printed. That is,
yeah.
when people
we
think
just
of the
put
future.
doing the OK sign. Yeah.
So, I mean, look, we're gonna. Lots of questions are coming in already. But let's just go back to the beginning. Like, how did you even get involved with Open Bionics? Like, obviously, they're not just going to approach anyone. You would have needed a. Are they just called bionic arms? Is that the right term?
Well, yeah. This is just this is literally a 3D printed bionic arm. I got loads of stuff so we can show people as well. Hopefully everyone can hear me because I can see the chat now. So hopefully everyone can hear me now.
Yeah. It was just at the beginning.
Oh, awesome.
My
So, long story short, because if you find videos of me, there's a lot of them. But the main thing is that I grew up literally wearing like just basic prosthesis, and I really didn't like them. Like hated them. In fact, grew up with Star Wars, sci-fi, and everything. Massive influence for sci-fi. And then I was actually helping a friend's Kickstarter. I don't know, like 7+ years ago. And then on the side, after I helped my friend's Kickstarter, it said 3D printed low-cost bionic arm, and I was like, okay, that sounds interesting. I don't know much about 3D printing, but I want to get into that kind of thing. Just put some money down into their fundraiser, and then I emailed them because my partner Harriet, she said, well, why don't you just, because I was telling her about it, she said, why don't you just send them an email, see if they're looking for a tester? And I was like, all right, I doubt they'll reply. And then within a couple of minutes, I get a reply from Joel, the co-founder, being like, yeah, let's meet up, let's do this, and then the rest is history. It literally was because she said, just send this email, that I was like, right, I'm really nervous about it. Let's see what happens. Shot him an email, and then I ended up being a tester for them. I've been around the world. I've done some crazy stuff just because of one email. It was insane.
And what has been the process been like from early on? Because firstly, in terms of it, the easy way of saying so, you were born without your right hand, but is it a condition, or is it just and are there lots of people out there who are now wanting these arms? Because I kind of feel like it's one of those things where people don't know the solutions out there. So there's two parts to the questions, basically. Obviously, what was your reasoning for getting this? And secondly, is this something that can be created for people with all sorts of limitations with their forearms?
Yeah, all right, because there's quite a lot to get through on that one. That's good. So, I just grew up, like I said, I wanted a bionic arm, and straight off the bat, though, I want to let people know that just because I want a bionic arm does not mean everyone else needs one if they don't feel comfortable with that one. But I was actually born with just my left hand. The condition I was born with was called Amelia, which just meant that when I was before I was born, my mum, unfortunately, I can't quite explain it without it sounding really weird, but long story short is I just came out of the womb with just one hand. And I had to learn to do everything left-handed. So it's different for me because there's people out there who literally have lost limbs who've got to learn to use one hand. Where if I woke up tomorrow morning and I had two flesh hands, I would be screaming. So I'd be like, what do I do? Because I'm not used to it. And what was the other part of the question? Because I'm trying not to get too...
Well, actually, on that, I don't actually know what it means when people are left and right-handed, if it's just that people have just had a preference or it is actually something neurological. Because now you have two hands, do you find that you're still left dominant just because that's what you've always used?
I'm still left dominant, but according to what I have been told, at least by my parents, when I was growing up, I would still try and do everything right-handed because I was sort of far too young to understand that arm is missing. So it was so it's quite interesting because I really did struggle growing up because I was really trying to still do everything left-handed. Obviously, I'm now so used to using my left hand that I did struggle in school for a while because I had to be dependent on my left hand, and that can be a problem. So yeah.
That is, And I will tell this story now because the first time I met you, I had one of these. If I felt like it was an American sitcom, it was one of those cringe moments. So in the UK, we have Download Festival, which is this metal festival. And I was going to download with your brother Johnny. And so I came to your house for the first time and I knocked at the door and you were there. I'd never met you before. And you were like, oh, Johnny's just gone out. He'll be back soon. And I went, oh, cool. By the way, I'm Myles. And I went to shake and you put out your left hand. And I went, oh, no, you shake with your right hand. And then you literally held up your right arm and went, I can't. And I just remember, and you were so cool about it. You were like, "Don't worry about it." Like you're like totally cool.
Well,
it happens.
at the end of the day, you didn't know me at the time, and people get this. Even when I'm not wearing my arm, I do not want people to feel bad. You don't know the situation.
Sure.
So if someone's going to ask me, like, I've got to be honest with them. It's still awkward to this day. But if I don't get to the point quickly, people would just think, what's this guy doing, man? I'm like, well, it's a bit awkward, but I was just born with my left hand. Well, and most people shake with their right. So I've got friends who are using their left hand. So when they go to shake people, they don't notice because they don't have to shake with their bloody left hand.
I know. And also,
straight off the bat.
And just to say, when I've tried to shake people with my left hand, they go, "Oh no, it's the right hand." It's really fucking pretentious. So I was, regardless of that, it was really pretentious for me. No, I'm a snob. You do it with your right hand, but no, you were super cool about it at the time. And I'm just saying, like, it was one of those, like, I wanted the ground to swallow me whole. But you were so cool, and then we were just gaming. But I always remember that. And I guess for me, you were just saying then it's something that you have to like speak about with people. But does that mean in day-to-day life you feel like, do you ever feel a pressure of like, I want to make this known as soon as possible so there's no awkwardness, or you don't feel any pressure to do that? Because you shouldn't feel that pressure. Like I do think that we live in a society now where we've got a lot better, where people are just much more aware that different people we're all in different forms, and therefore we kind of just much more accepting, I think, without feeling awkward unnecessarily.
It's way more open than it ever was. So growing up in the UK, we have a charity called Reach. To me personally, I know that the founder passed away many years ago, and a lovely lady called Suzanne, sorry. And that was just funny. It's called Reach because I used to say with our friends, I could reach, but I can't because I don't have that hand. That was one of my favorite jokes about that. But in all seriousness, I had Reach and I made so many friends through that. But a little plug for my friends in America as well. Big up my friends over there in the Lucky Finn project. Those guys in the fact, like, they're all lovely. That I've got loads of friends over the pond. You look there up the Instagram, there's loads of us on that, and it's a great community, massive. It's for my parents as well. It wasn't just for my help and my mental health as well, but actually for my mum and dad to know that they weren't alone in having a child who has a disability. So going to Reach, I've made loads of friends. One of my best friends is called James, and he's been one of my best friends for life, who's got a hand literally the same as mine but the opposite. And I made it's without getting too mushy about it, it really is nice to know that it's becoming a bigger thing and there's more awareness than ever. You're seeing it in films now and everything. Some people say, oh, it's we're getting a bit too woke, or whatever the fuck you want to say.
Screw those people, man.
But like, it's good to see, because even when we saw Dune last night, one of the ladies in it, I don't know her personally, but I know her from some other stuff from other people, and I was like, oh my god, I know who that is. And it's just lovely to see representation. Even trying to like not waste too much time just chatting about this, but I don't know if anyone's seen the Barbie movie, but my friend Ashley's in that. She has her bionic arm on and off, and the reason why I love it more is because she's repping the arm, which is brilliant. She doesn't wear she doesn't wear this one, by the way. She's wearing a bionic arm, but she's still showing that she loves who she is. You don't need to have, I'm like grateful I have this bionic arm, just taking it off. But I have a missing limb. I don't always wear it. I can't always wear it, and I love who I am. But I just need people to know that you can have both. It's really hard. It's really hard to explain this, but just don't be too dependent on technology. Sometimes you need to love yourself anyway. So yeah, try not to get too into this.
No, that's really well said. And I do think that comes across with a lot of things in life. Sometimes we talk about relationships, that people that go into relationships because they're unhappy and they want them for that to make them feel happy. It's never going to be the fix. You need to be content with yourself first, and then a relationship's going to be a multiplier. And I assume it's the same with that. You know, you still have to love you for you, and then you can use the tool when you want to use it. And I think the thing of representation, and there will people that go, you know, it's woke and stuff like that. We're always going to deal with people that unfortunately have that view. Something that only was sort of flagged up to me a few years ago, I was listening to it on the radio, and it was about representation on movies. And it was just one of those things of it just never crossed my mind before. And I think it's often the subconscious stuff that can be most damaging. And there was someone who'd lost an eye, so they wore an eye patch, and they just mentioned that when you see someone with an eye patch in a movie, they're always the villain, you know? And it's just straight away, I was just like, never crossed my mind. But it's like you're literally associating someone that has one eye with a villain. Now, it might not, you know, it's not meaning that when you see someone on the street, you go, oh, they must be a villain. But like, it does create these subconscious like associations. And so having representation and having people in different roles with different things, as you say, with the arm, without the arm, I think it can be really, really impactful. The thing I wanted to pick up on as well was you were talking about, you know, growing up, you'd feel that you'd have to sometimes mention it in the conversation and stop the awkwardness. Is there a bit of that now with whenever you wear the robot arm, like, and it might in a different way now of like, by the way, this is a robot,
Yeah,
is it a robotic arm? I mean, it's called bionic, right? But is it?
Yeah,
it's technically robotic.
Bionic. It's robotic, but you can say whichever really. But yeah, I'm going to be honest, I don't wear it when I go out nights out with friends, because I tell you now, the amount of times I've worn it and people just stop to talk to me about it, I'm like, that's pretty cool, but I kind of came out to speak to my friends and I'm not, you know, it's difficult. I have this fine line. Like, I am very proud to wear it. I love people coming to question me and talk to me about it. But like, sometimes people come into my personal space and want to like talk at me about it. And it can get difficult and a bit like overwhelming. So sometimes I'm like, depending on the situation I'm in, I will probably think, I'm going to not wear it tonight. I definitely don't wear it at gigs because I'm into metal. So there's no way this thing would last. Like, you would probably see it getting crowd surfed and someone's like, what the hell is that? So I don't take it to gigs. But, you know, most events, like, I wear it on my daily basis. Like, for my everyday life, I wear it. I wear it for work. But it's, you know, if I'm socializing with friends and that, because a lot of my best close personal friends have known me just with one hand. They don't really see me wearing my bionic arm. So when I wear it, they're a bit confused by that because they've known me since I was little. So yeah, it's still adjusting to things once in a while, actually. I mean, even my brother, I don't know if he's still in the chat there, but Jonathan's so used to seeing me without my arm on. The only times he really, in fact, actually, talking about that, Jonathan was one of the first people to ever shake hands with the 3D printed bionic hand, because Jonathan's in an old photo of me wearing the arm for the first time. So, yeah, it was a very touching moment, but it's also still weird as well.
That's cool. So tell me about the arm itself and how it works. I guess in two parts. One is, how do you actually control it? And then secondly, what is the functionality? Like, you were talking about going to metal gigs. Can you do the devil horns with it?
I can, sort of, but I have to literally... Hang on. It would have to be like that, so I'd have to hold it together. But they're
dude, that is metal AF.
There's my camera. Yeah, there you go. But you can change the grip pattern. So how this all works is, so in the NHS and other ways of getting an arm, there's something called a myoelectric. Now, I started with prosthetics that literally look like a little, sorry, my hand's there, like sort of like an Action Man hand. So I had those thinking that's what it was to be whatever the hell normal is growing up. And I only got them because I wanted time off school. But anyway, by the by, I had the myoelectric, and it's essentially the same kind of thing. So it uses sensors in your arms. So you literally, like, how you would be doing this. Oh, it's my camera. I keep looking the wrong way. How you're doing that with your actual arm, you can feel the actual muscles moving. So that's how this opens and closes. So what I have of my arm ends there, and then these sensors are reading it.
It's all the tendons moving, right? So
yeah. So when I move my hand, so if I do that, or if I hold it in like a sort of fist, what I feel is a fist, it reads it, so I can move. Honestly, I keep thinking I'm in the wrong place. There we go. That's better. And then we press the middle, and then you can see flashing. But my arm's a little bit older. This one's a bit of an old gen arm because I rarely get mine updated these days simply because I'm so used to this version. But it's quite cool. They've got a new app for the arm as well now, which is called the Sidekick, because obviously the hand is called the Hero Arm, so people can literally edit and change their things on their phone instead. So I've got the light on. I don't have my phone on me right now, but you can turn the light off and everything else. Now, this is the thing I want to show people as well, is functionality is obviously awesome as well, but the thing is that all this kind of stuff comes off as well. So this cover is 3D printable, and then you can literally just put on, I'm going to find there he is. There's the one. There's my Venom Snake cover.
Venom Snake.
Yeah, so Metal Gear. So literally I can change the covers whenever I want. At work, though, I don't wear, because I'm a technician, I just wear a normal black boring cover because I refuse to damage my cover.
Yeah.
So here's even more. So this can go on literally just, in fact, I'm going to grab a battery one. So literally just it's got magnets, pops on, and then there you go. There it is. Just, that's how easy it is to come off as well, just on and off. So you can have as many different covers as you want. I don't have too many because I've broken so many, but this is what I have now. Oh.
Just got some background footage. You're still on camera.
All right, so cool. I was just checking. It's like, oh no. So that cover you see there, that one in that video is actually the original Deus Ex covers I used to have, because we've actually worked with Eidos Montreal. Became close friends with those guys because that all started from a Reddit post, actually. That was crazy.
Really?
Yeah. So I started helping Open Bionics, just already sent that email. The first thing we ever did together was go to Vegas to CES. The first thing I ever did. I am a very creature of comfort, creature of habit kind of person. So then when they're like, we're going to this convention, we're going with Intel. We're like runners, like we're going to be there. Do you want to come with us to show the arm off? And I literally met loads of people, shaking thousands of hands. And it's the first time I've ever worn this thing in front of people that I don't know, and that was thousands. Loads of YouTube videos of younger me. It was crazy. And then someone made a Reddit post going, wouldn't that be really cool to see Deus Ex merge with these guys and make a bionic arm together? And lo and behold, that actually happened, which I thought was bloody mental. And yeah, so and being a gamer as well, I was like, hang on a minute. So you're telling me I'm working with Eidos Montreal and Square Enix? And so I've been to Vegas, E3 when that was still E3. Yeah, E3. When that was still going, and loads of stuff like that. And, for me, I've done quite a lot of crazy stuff, and I'm very proud to be able to say what I've done. And I'm sort of just waffling now, but
no, it's not. It's amazing.
It's just an achievement I never thought I'd make. I always thought that maybe one day I'd get a bionic arm, but I didn't think I would be doing what I've done, really.
Yeah. There was a question I had for you, but someone's asked it as well, which was, is the battery replaceable? How long between? I was going to ask, what is the battery life and how do you charge it? Is it USB-C or?
USB. No, so it's because it's actually a lithium battery. Is that the right word? I always get this wrong.
Lithium battery,
yeah, lithium battery. So it needs to be charged. It takes about 2-3 hours, and it's 24 hours of charge if you want it on for 24 hours.
So you're going to be charging it when you sleep anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like a mobile, really, in that sense. But I mean, for me, I'm hoping, because I've been there since day one, if anyone looks up Open Bionics, you'll see some really old Rock'em Sock'em style arms, and the hand was so much bigger than this at the beginning. I'm hoping one day the battery will get smaller, but it's just so that it will work, because obviously if it has smaller batteries, it's not going to be as strong, at least from my understanding after all these years. But it's been a while since I went over there to do any testing, so yeah.
I'm just having a look at all the questions coming. Let's go through some of these before I get on to the next bit. Chris in the Purple House was asking, is it a cybernetic arm? Is that what it's called, a cybernetic arm?
I would just call it a bionic arm. In a way, it's cybernetic, I guess. Yeah. I'll stick with bionic. With bionic.
It's all the different terminologies with it, whenever it's technology. Mojo, this is a great question. Mojo always has some wonderful questions. Where do you want to see Open Bionics in the next few years? I mean, you said it was 7 years ago?
Yeah,
Um,
so they're now breaking. They're trying to get into America now. They're in France, around Europe, and everything. So they're really trying to make ground in America now. So after all the years of testing and going out to the States to really show it off, it's great that they're starting to see representation of the arm in the States. I think they've even got HQ in the States now, so they're really
right.
trying to rep, because the UK is a lot smaller than America.
Yes.
So yeah, Sammy, the other co-founders out there at the moment, trying to get the name out there. So Open Bionics are really trying to make waves, especially the different covers as well, because we worked with quite a few different people, and I've worked with some different people. So it's just getting the name out there, really.
That's awesome. And so they always say when it comes to technology that we tend to overestimate the short term and underestimate the long term, which is we always expect things to come across really quickly in the next few years, but then we're always surprised over 10 years. Like ChatGPT is a great example.
Yeah.
That just came out of nowhere, and it's like, well, over the 10 years we've actually come a long way, but in the years leading up to ChatGPT it might not have felt that much. But so where do you think, where do you want to see Open Bionics go? You just want to see it expand in terms of getting to more countries, more people?
Yeah, I want to see it around the world, to be honest with you. It is getting there, and I mean, it again. I know I'm waffling. I am a waffler.
You're not waffling, Daniel. Please.
All right. Well, I'll take your word for it. But for me, it's more so overwhelming to be that person who was there from like day dot, and now we have so many people wearing the arm, and it's just a bit weird for me to be like, huh. I was there. I was there at the very beginning, and it's so wholesome to see like thousands of people have this arm now, and especially seeing it stateside and in like other countries that's making such an impact for people, because this arm is a lot lower cost than any other bionic arms out in the industry. Like it's half the price, if that.
How much does an arm one of them cost?
So it right now they're about 20 grand. That seems like a lot, but in comparison to other arms, like I could name a few, but they're maybe bionic or so. They're about like 50 grand or more. So that's money people cannot spend.
No.
So
it's really interesting that I was thinking 5 grand, something like that, and 20 grand. But it's not as if I'm like, oh, why does it cost 20? It's clear why it costs 20 grand, and it's straight away. It then makes sense why people can't just ask for one.
That's including like insurance and stuff on it as well. So if something breaks off, you can send it back, and they can literally take it free, like fix the fingers, 3D print a part of it back on and stuff like that. So it does seem quite high, but that price has had to go up just because. So yeah.
Callie Timecat just asked, are there travel restrictions with it, such as flying?
Yeah, so that is a good question. So when I go traveling personally, I don't take it. But when I'm with Open Bionics in the past, I've had to bring special battery pouches. So I have to declare those batteries. And then there's been a few good stories, especially for coming back from Gamescom. Oh, my God. So I had to declare I had batteries, show them what it was about. They understood in the UK, came back through Germany. Wow, it was awkward, but it was hilarious because I was like, you have some batteries in your bag, and then I was like, yeah, it's been declared. I've told them about it, and I showed that I had to sit there, take the arm out of my bag, put the battery in, and do all the like demonstration I just did to these thousands of people for this talk, and it was great because they were loving it, but they were like felt awful afterwards. But I was like, you have to ask these things with the way the world is. So there are semi-travel restrictions. You've just got to declare it usually. So what I haven't traveled with it for a while, but I had to declare it, and then I had to explain why I had batteries in my bag, especially in America. Like arriving there, they're like, oh, you seem to have weird stuff in your bag, so what are you doing here? And I was like, oh, I'm here for a convention, here's my arm. But yeah, they look quite awkward there when they see you and go, oh, it's a bionic arm and it's battery. Okay, oh, I shouldn't have asked, but they got to do their job. But these guys in Germany, I just remember there was one lady, they pulled me aside, and then like 5 security guards came over, and then I had to do this whole demonstration. It was one of the funniest things coming home. I was like, yeah, here we go. Here's my arm. This is what I do with it. And they're like, oh, that's really cool. Sorry we wasted your time. I was like, you didn't waste my time. You're doing your job. Thank you. Just a little bit, didn't think I'd get a crowd of security guards coming to like come over to me asking about like this. Like, it only had 2 lithium batteries on me. It wasn't that many, but to them, you know, security. So
Yeah, that's such a cool thing though, because it's like showing a magic trick. Like whenever I show, I know it's not exactly the same, but when I show people virtual reality that've never experienced it before, just seeing the amazement of like showing people technology of like, this is what you just see people's eyes open and be amazed. And I think that's such a wonderful thing with technology, is it is a form of magic in many ways, because people are just like, wait, how does this work? And
yeah, exactly.
And it makes you a better ambassador, because you'll always get faced with questions, maybe some of which you'll answer, but go, actually, that was a good question. I'll think a bit more about that. In future.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's why questions are always good, because there's I mean, I get asked a lot of the same questions a lot, and then there'll be that one where I literally just go, oh my god, I've never thought about that like ever in my life, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, and then I've now got to tackle that question. So hopefully someone can come up with something I've never thought of, and we'll see how we get on.
Well, Nick Mulo, the game cat, asks, what material or materials and 3D printing methods do you use for bionics?
So this arm is used, I'm going to try and get it back on screen here. So this arm is, in fact, this cover is, this one in particular is PLA, so it's a bit damaged, but this is your standard material. But some of the other bits are made of, like, this is nylon, that's nylon. Inside my arm, on this side, if I'm allowed, I can show you this side of it. In fact, I'm going to take it off. I'm just going to take my arm off, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't freak out. It's fine. It's something called Ninja Flex, or like a flexible material. So there's loads of different types of material you can get, but inside is like a TPU style material. But you can print in nylons. You can use resins. I mean, this one hasn't got resin. This uses SLR printing, which is powder, which is pretty cool. I don't really use that in technology myself personally, because that is quite high end, which I don't own one of those printers. So yeah, there's loads of different materials. So there's loads of components in this, and all parts of different types of 3D printing to make the arm. So,
and is it comfortable to wear, or do you sometimes, is it like wearing shoes where you got to break them out, but like at first they can rub against?
Can you see that bit?
Yeah.
Light bit, that is a boa, so you can use that. In fact, I'm going to use my little hand. Where am I? There we are. That boa up there, it's what cyclists use as well. And basically, you can pop that open and put your arm in it, and then like if I can try and get it on there, you can. If I pop it in, that tightens it for me, so I can wear it. It can move around, and then if I need to loosen it, I literally just, if I can just about see that, pop that, and it just. It makes it breathable, and as you can see, it's very breathable inside here as well. So, and this, it's crazy to me, because 7 years ago? In fact, actually, what's crazy is it's going to come up to 10 years. Actually, so no, I'm wrong. I think it's going to come up to 10 years already. Actually, oh my goodness, I'm 3 years out. Yeah, it's coming up to 10 years.
Wow. David VR asks, is each arm bespoke?
Yes, every arm is bespoke, because each arm, they scan the user's arm for each user. So my arm, obviously, it has to fit me. And by the way, that is a thumbs up, by the way. Yeah, just in case anyone's asking, it's a thumbs up. Yeah, they're all bespoke, because every user's arm is always going to be different. Even like, you actually look at your fleshy hand, they're all different. They're never the same. So mine literally matches me to someone else who's got an arm similar to mine, but their arm might end here or here. They can get it scanned so it fits them. Because I know there was a question at the beginning I completely missed, because I went over it by accident, that you asked, and I can't remember what it was.
Well, that was just about if it was bespoke.
Okay, so yes, they are bespoke for each user, and then that user can get like different covers. So I've got, obviously, like I say, the standard black covers, and I've got these nice twirly covers. So it's not just bespoke on the sense of like making that arm bespoke, but you can make it bespoke yourself. So I've got my Metal Gear covers as well, which is pretty sick. So yeah, so that makes it even more unique and stylized for that user, especially kids. Like for adults like myself, I don't need all those kind of covers. There are some new ones out there that I love, but for kids, like having that superpower, and that's why it's called the hero arm, is like a real big thing. So for me, it's so heartwarming to see these little kids wearing an arm, getting a fist bump with our bionic arms, and having a good time. Yeah, even that is so cool. I didn't know they were coming out. I wasn't told about those ones. They're so cool. And they've got some new arms coming out, so people who are missing digits instead. So, it's not all about people missing it's just their entire hand. It's also about just other people with different types of upper limb they're looking to help out now.
Yeah, the designs are amazing. And just seeing all the different practicalities in different situations, like that drumstick holder.
Yeah, that's the new Flex, a Hero Flex. I want it. I'm hoping to get one of those at some point.
Kayaking, mountain biking, golfing, drumming, whatever you're flexing, Hero Flex for you. Now, is that something that you could just attach to or is it a completely different?
It is a completely different one because of the actual arm itself. It's with the membrane and all that. I'm just making it's slightly different. That's more so you can put different attachments on it, but this I can't do that with that.
It's so awesome, all these designs. Yeah. Oh, so amazing. I love the branding. I love everything. This is all the stuff, the app.
Yeah. I don't have that because my arm is quite ancient because I haven't had it updated in quite a while. Because I just haven't been over it. I don't even live that far. I just don't have as much time. And I still go when they ask me to go and help out and meet the kids. And it's awesome. And adults alike as well, because people just think, oh, aren't the kids awesome? But sometimes it's nice to see the older generation who didn't get that chance to have an arm finally get one. I find that really touching as well.
Absolutely. Right. Lots of questions come in, so I'm just going to plow through these.
Yep.
Well, David was asking, is the arm powered or is it purely mechanical? We've answered that. It is powered. Chris was asking, from what we were talking about earlier, so are you ambidextrous now?
So. It's difficult. One day I can have a really good day, but on the next day I'll be like, what am I doing? What's happening? But all I say is I know my left from my right quite easily.
Okay.
So...
Someone was asking, are you able to use it for driving?
No. That's something I should actually mention is because it has a wrist. It only has mine. They're looking to change this, but this is just manual wrist rotation. So if I was driving with this arm on, I would be like, oh boy, because I can't turn it. So for me, all I do is if I'm driving like that, I can put my little hand through the steering wheel and just twist it like that. Right. But is that quiet?
There we go. Wow, so many questions here. Do you get the same kind of fatigue in both arms from holding things? That's a really interesting question.
That's a good one. No,
that is such a good question.
Thank you. I've never had that. Actually, that has never been asked before. No.
I'll give him a round of applause for that.
One hand.
Sorry, how inconsiderate of me.
A bionic clap as well.
The best kind of applause, yeah.
Straight off the bat on that, the fatigue is always in my right side because the arm, I don't know if you can see that well, but my right side slumps a lot more because I just, when I was growing up, I tried to put my hand in my pocket too much. And so the fatigue still comes from this side of my arm, but it really has helped with my arm muscles wearing the arm. So it's a lot better than it used to be. 10 years ago, that was like right down there. And now it's a lot higher. So because I'm wearing the arm and I'm getting used to having two arms in that sense. So is still a lot of fatigue in this side, but I feel like I've got a lot more strength in it. So if I took like 2 weeks away from wearing it and putting it back on, it starts to hurt like a lot, like really aches. So yeah. I can even draw with that thing, but it's quite bad. So, but I can still draw with it. I did that for a Twitch stream to raise money to draw with my bionic arm, and it was quite funny, but also very scary.
But dude, you can just sell that for thousands as like modern art.
I mean, we were doing it for the Yodcast. We worked with Yodcast on the Jingle Jam. So what I did a Twitch stream with my bionic arm, and anyone like who donated money, if they donated £20 or more, I'd do a drawing with the bionic arm, whatever they want, as long as it wasn't bad in that sense. And then we draw it, and I just post it to them and sign it with my bionic arm. I don't know if I've got any drawings left. Actually, I think I sold them all. But yeah, I'll have to find some photos and show you. They're pretty funny. So.
Karina asks, how do you keep it clean? I'm very practical.
So good question.
And there was another question actually about, do you have to worry about getting it wet if it's raining? So I want to put that into the cleaning question as well. Like you're not going to shower with it.
No. So shower or bath, shower, bath, swimming, that kind of thing work. But Like light rain is fine, but if I was wearing it was like heavy torrential rain, then yeah, you got to be kind of more careful with it. How I clean it is like if I need to clean the inside, it's just get a like a cleaning wipe just to clean the inside. But because I'm a technician, I use woodworking tools and everything. So what I actually do at work is use the Henry the Hoover just to suck up all the dust and crap out of the fingers and everything, and then wipe it down. So I couldn't like go to wash my hands in the sink and then put soap on it and then wash it like a normal hand. I could put a little bit of soap and a little bit of water on it, but like nothing that could really get stuck, just like destroy it. So that's how I clean it, is literally vacuum it, wet wipe, sort of dry it, sort it. That's literally how I do this.
And are you? I suppose you're supposed to do that daily after each.
No, I don't. I should probably.
But that's what I'm saying. I say should because there's a lot of things that we should be doing when it.
I've taken it to OB headquarters about a couple months ago now. Last time I saw them, and they were like, "What is in this hand?" I was like, "Whoop! I forgot to clean this out." And there was like dust, plastic, bits of filament from the 3D printer. I forget because you can't really see, but inside there is like loads of different gear. I really hard. In fact, I'm going to take my hand off and then you might be able to see it. Right. So like, it gets stuck in those bits forever. So it's quite funny though. I quite enjoy that. Especially when the kids see me just cleaning the hand. Like, what's up guys? Just vacuum cleaning in this lesson. You guys vacuum cleaning in my hand. Totally normal. Anyway, sorry.
No. Karina asked, do you have any realistic models like with painted nails? So do they make any that are actually going for realism? I assume...
No. So, and I'm totally for this, is like, I can't remember the name of the company. There's another company doing 3D printed hands that look real. And to me, that's like Uncanny Valley, where it's like, holy crap, that's like, that's not me. That's not me. I know Open Bionics won't do that because that's not what they want to do as well. They want the person to stand out or make it the way that they want it to look. But if you ask a whole of people who have a bionic arm, most of them don't want it to look. Some people do. There's like a small majority of people who want that, but there's a large majority, at least to me and what I've seen, there isn't. But there are people out there who want that, but not for me. I would find that really freaky personally. But like I said, I've had prostheses before that try to look human and they're more fake than human. So you can tell I'm missing a limb than me not wearing it at all. So I grew up with those prosthetics wearing them. People go, oh, you're missing a limb. Whereas when I didn't wear it, they didn't even notice because I didn't make a thing about it. So yeah, it depends. It's all on what people's viewpoints on and what they want in life. So yeah.
That makes sense. I just want to say a massive thank you for Mojo in the chat, who's just gifted 5 memberships. Always really, really appreciate the support. So just massive shout out to Mojo, obviously, also to Ryan, BR, Fortune Edge, Stefan, and Time to Play VR. Congratulations. Welcome to the Empathy Arcade Club. And the puzzle is done as well. Let's have a quick look at this. There we go. Puzzle
that's
completed.
That's one of my favourite photos. That was when we did the Metal Gear stuff.
Dude, that photo is so badass. Talk about this photo.
Yeah, it's true story, by the way. That hair, like straight up massive gamer. Not just saying that, massive into games. And I've spoken to Myles about this before. So I know that a lot of people like the whole Kojima thing's kind of bad, but we were approached about it, and I was like, yeah, I want that cover. I want Venom Snake's hand. That hair is legitly real. I got my friend who's a hairdresser called Alex to actually cut my hair into a freaking mullet and have that short fringe. That is legit. That's how much I loved that partnership. So that if you find out more photos of me, that is real. That is not a wig. I literally had a mullet and had the front of my hair really short for weeks. And it was awful afterwards. It was so bad. It took forever to get it back to normal. But I was so dedicated to what I was like, I'm not going to wear a wig. I'm going to get it cut. So short fringe, mullet, bam, I'm Venom Snake. I'm
always jealous of people that can do stuff with their hair. Because me, it's just like, you can barely do anything. Unless I sort of grow it longer, which I never get around to. There's one last question here before I get to a couple of my own. Callie Timecat said, I would imagine it is incredibly complicated designing a replacement arm. How long does it take from scratch? And your brother Johnny was saying, how long does one arm take to make?
So That's a good question. That would take quite a while because obviously you've got all these different components, and I'm guessing, since when they first started making them, all of this was made of PLA. Like the whole arm was made of like separate components, just PLA, which is what you can get on any printer. And now because it's all separate components, it takes longer. Now, because I haven't been over there in a while, it would take a couple of days or so because they've got to put it together, make sure, and then the next thing as well is making sure it fits for the actual person. So I would say a couple of days to make one, I'd say. Because when I was growing up, when I had the prosthetics made, they had to make plaster casts of my arm. And then by the time they got it back, I'd already grown out of it. Whereas now we've got 3D scanners. Within the day, you've got a 3D scan. You can use that. You can literally use that as a template for that person. That's how quick it can be done now. So
that's awesome. The amount of love for you and your story is amazing. I mean, this chat is always so wonderful. I do love that thumbs up tattoo. That's so good.
That was originally my original logo for my business, Handy Down 3D Prints.
Go on, hold it up to the camera now, because I've got your full screen now.
I don't know if you can see. Oh, no, the wrong way. You can't really.
There you go. See it now.
It's bled into it now, but that used to be a bone, but it now looks like the bloody flipping Facebook like. But it wasn't. It wasn't. Jonathan and I have the original T-shirts of my business, so I'm a big Simpson fan. The itchy and scratchy stuff with like the fake blood and stuff like that is, so my business was a thumbs up with a bleeding bone sticking out, but now it's now that instead. I had to change it for reasons that because people like, I went through the Printers Trust to start my business, and they're like, you can't have it like that way. So so I've had to change it. So that's my business.
Tell us about your business. I actually bought this one on the left for my brother quite a few Christmases ago. Very cool.
Yeah, that's the Thwomp. I've got. If anyone's got a 3D printer and you want to 3D print that, you can go and get that on some websites. Some of them are free. And then that in the middle, that one in the middle, I actually worked with Sony Music on my own accord. That wasn't through Open Bionics. I actually worked with Sony. So that's, if you're a metalcore fan, that is the Black Flame, and I brought that to life for the video, which was mad.
That's awesome.
And then the one on the other side is actually my skull that I designed myself. I've even got one here because I love my skulls.
Let me put you on. There you
go. These are the skulls I 3D printed and designed, which you can download to buy these files these days as well on the interwebs. So my website's a little bit old now. I need to update it, but it's been a while.
Love it.
Just need to change that. I need to update it. It's been a while.
The TNT. Oh yeah, the TNT box.
Yeah, I still need to update it, but for the time being, because of my other jobs, I've kept it the same for the time being. So I do a lot of teaching, 3D print and design, and then I bring the arm into it at the end, because if I do workshops and I teach people, and I show the arm at the beginning, I've lost them. They want to talk about the arm. So I bring that out at the very end most of the time at workshops. And it blows the kids and teachers and people's minds when I do workshops, when I show them that. But that's what got me into it, was the Open Bionics stuff got me into 3D printing. And then through that, I just ended up doing some crazy stuff.
I got what's this? My brother got me this. You didn't.
Nice. Yeah.
The top broke off though, unfortunately. The end of the ray gun.
Yeah,
but like,
I see what that's
because people always think like 3D printing isn't good quality, but no, it's amazing. Like complicated shapes.
I'm trying. I'd have to see it properly. I'd have to come and see that face to face. But I think I was trying to work.
Oh wait, I'm putting you full screen. I was.
So that might be SLR. That may not be your typical PLR, your typical 3D printer, but that looks pretty good. But I mean, this is something I made for a band called the Raven Age. This one's a bit battered. I designed this myself, so I do design quite a lot.
So what do you design on?
I use a bit of everything. So I started with a website you can use called Tinkercad. And then I moved on to Fusion 360, and I recently tried to start making stuff like this on something called ZBrush. So when I get chance, I try and still design, because that was always my thing, was designing. And when I saw a 3D printer, I thought, holy crap, I want to start making stuff. And then so that was so Open Bionics inspired me to get a 3D printer, and now I have quite a few. And it's just great that you can literally have a concept and bring it to life. Is just still blows my mind, because I know I don't want to go into about 3D printing too much, but 3D printing has been around since the 1980s. I don't know if anyone knows that.
Right.
And you know what? The first film I ever saw that in and did not know it was Small Soldiers. If you watch Small Soldiers, which is
Dude, I loved that movie as a kid, but I
yeah.
think you're right. I think I do remember it now.
Yeah. So you know that bit at the beginning where they're showing the commandos and the Gorgonites. That is a resin vat printer, and I'm like, oh my god, I've got like 3 of those now, but they were massive back then, and they're tiny now, and I was like, oh my god, like I didn't know until I rewatched it. And I was like, is that a resin printer? And I was like, yep. And then I looked it up, and it turns out 3D printers have been going since the 1980s, which is just crazy. So it's gone from very small to even bigger now. It's mad.
That is amazing. Well, let's just finish up then talking about the Open Bionics Foundation.
Yes.
What is it? That's it. It's going to be the most simple question. What is it?
So the foundation is for people who are looking to buy the arm, because I said it is quite expensive, and it's to help you raise money to buy to afford your own bionic arm, the Hero Arm. So through the UK, we are hoping to. It's going through the NHS now, but you still have to go through so many trial periods, and it's still very difficult to even get any prosthetics through the NHS and whatnot. So sometimes you do have to go private, and we've set up a foundation, me and some people who have got the arm from the foundation through Open Bionics. So I'm part of the foundation because it's all well and good I have an arm, but I want other people to have it. I want other people to be able to have the same experience as I have. So Tilly, in that photo, if you look up Tilly, she's the most famous person out of all the users. She was the second person to get an arm, and now she's really big, and Tilly's awesome.
Tilly was further up.
Was to the kids as well.
Was Tilly on this page?
Say again?
Was Tilly on this page?
Yeah, keep going down. She was with a picture of her mum, but she's a lot older now. So Tilly's had lost both her arms to meningitis, and then she's got 2 bionic arms, and she's just awesome. Whereas I'm just a bloke who just was literally born with one hand. So there's people out there who have a different circumstances, But yeah, so we've started a foundation now. So we're hoping it's still early days yet. There's only a couple of us, but I'm part of it so I can like help out, because it's good to see who wants one and who really know. Like the thing is, like you're saying, Myles, about people who might want it. So I do go through and like really talk to a lot of these people to make sure this is what they want. Because I do get a lot of the parents of kids who say that they want it, and I'm like, can I talk to your child with you to see if they want it?
Yeah.
You get a lot of parents, oh, that's what they want. I'm like, yes, but you want to check with that child first, because I wanted it as a kid, but you will get some kids who are like, think that's what they want, and they might not know yet. So sometimes you've got to let people sort of like take some time, take a bit of time to breathe and like think if it's worth their time. Because we've had a few users who have like got it, thought it was going to change their life, and it wasn't quite what they thought it was going to be in that sense. So again,
and I assume there's no middle, there's no like demo one, or do they have a demo one that's not going to be obviously built for their arm, but it's like, just put this on and you'll get a sense of what it's like?
So they put straps on. They go to Open Bionics or other clinics now that are associated with Open Bionics, and they can put it on. So it's like a test arm. I'll have to find a picture, and it's like similar to mine, just a test arm, and then they like have to test a little arm, and then they do that whatever they can with it, and then it opens and closes, and you just want to see whether it's right for them as well. But yeah, like I said, again, for the foundation, we've just started it because there's so many people who, especially in the UK, with everything going on with prices of everything going up, we want to try and help people get that funding, so we get as many funders as possible. And we've had some fantastic funding from a lot of people in the last couple of months. Some I'm not allowed to say. Somebody I know personally gave a big chunk of money to the foundation, which was just really, to me, like, I cried, because it was so nice to see that it's also impacted people who don't have limb differences, who can help us. So, I don't know if there was anything else I can add to that, really.
It's amazing, man, and to sort of be a part of this from the very beginning and seeing where it's got to, I think it means that you are going to be the optimist that is definitely needed, especially in a world that can get quite cynical at times. And you're obviously very level-headed. I think what you spoke about regarding making sure that the child wants it is very important, because
Yeah.
parents with the best of intentions want the best for their kid, and we all know that sometimes that can result in imposing this will make you better, and then the kid will feel guilty because their parent has spent all this money, and it's like, this isn't right for me, but I better, they'll be devastated if I'm not using it. And so I think having that conversation is very important for this.
Yeah, no, straight up. I will plug my brother here a little bit, because I grew up, because I know that some of the questions that came earlier may have missed. You know, you need like a good foundation of friends and family. And oh God, without getting too emotional about my brother, who's still probably listening, you know, people like my brother like looked out for me, and there's people who still get bullied for being different. And try not to get emotional about that. Yeah, you know, having people who have your back and like support you no matter what. Like Jonathan's never said to me, "You can't do it. Give it a try." Oh my God, I'm trying not to get emotional about that one. Oh my goodness. You know, it's one of those things. It's one of those things like you get people I've met who've had horrible upbringings where they don't have a good support network, and that is something I should have said earlier. Like having a good support network, having friends and family have your back, is what it's all about, man. I've met one of my friends. I won't name names, but when she told me about her upbringing, I wanted to cry, man. Like not good at all. And I feel very humble that I have such a good upbringing, and I have a good brother who looks out for me. And you know, it is what it is. I'm not trying to get emotional, but you know, it is. I just feel very lucky who I am and who I have in my life.
There's a lot of people concurring that Daniel Silvernex is saying allies are always important, and it actually ties very full circle with speaking at the beginning with Vitamin G, and I was talking about it on a more surface level regarding life is all about the people you meet. But when it comes to family, we don't get to choose our family, and I know people that have had very terrible relationships within their families, which they feel they can't escape. And also, you know, when it comes to friendships or colleagues, a lot of the times we're stuck with people. Other times we can make a choice, but then it's a question of who is out there. And so when we find those good people, it's always important to take that moment for gratitude. And knowing you and your brother, you're both clearly reflections of each other, because you're always willing to help out and stuff. And again, in a world that is often very cynical and stuff, it's always important to amplify those good voices. And this has been an awesome conversation. I have learned so much, because although what you do is like totally my jam. I'm into futurism. I'm into obviously the quest for empathy and looking at ways that technology can like upgrade lifestyles and stuff. And I have been following you like on your socials and stuff, but to have like a really detailed conversation about it, I can't think of a better way of doing it, because everyone in the chat has been really, really engaged. And I know beyond this, when people from other time zones start tuning in, I have friends of mine that they never tune in live, but they say, yeah, I listen to it every Thursday on my drive to work or stuff like that. So hello to all my friends and listeners and viewers who check it out afterwards. But listen, Daniel, I want to say a massive thank you.
Thank you for having me, because there were some other things I would have brought up, but we'll bring it up another time if you ever have me back, because I totally forgot about the gaming, so it's like the gaming stuff as well.
Dude, bring it up now. Go on, mention it.
All right, very quickly. So I told to Myles about this. So one other thing is, like I said, I'm a gamer. I very luckily get once in a while to test with PlayStation. So I've tested the accessibility of gaming. Not that much, but some stuff. So we were talking about that new accessibility controller coming out. Yeah, that I got to test that. So for me personally, I've learned how to use a normal controller. I'd have, maybe I'll make a video on this, and maybe I'll get Myles to plug it and show people. But I have actually tested that, the Leonardo. It's amazing. It's going to change so many people's lives. For me, I tested it on the day, and I had to be honest. I said to him, look, this is amazing. It's going to be awesome. But for me, this isn't the thing. But when I play games, because I am allowed to plug this now. I tested during COVID. I got to test Horizon Forbidden West. My girlfriend couldn't tell her at the time because she's the biggest fan, and I got to test that. And so when I play games now, until I actually found out the games are becoming more accessible, I didn't know. I just thought I had to play it like anybody else. So that accessibility is a big part of gaming as well. And I like that PlayStation and Xbox and other people are really taking this seriously now. So like I just changed the settings in games now, but it's just so beautiful to see like the community the normal community, the gaming community, we're all coming together now, and like we want this accessible. But maybe one day I'll make a video on how I play video games, because it certainly looks a bit odd. But I play like anyone else. I mean, hell, I've platinumed. I'm bragging here very quickly before we end it, but I have platinumed God of War, Ragnarok, and God of War PS4. Killed all the Valkyries, got my platinum. So if someone
That's
would want
amazing.
to platinum it, pretty sure you could too. So
There
just
we go.
saying. little smug remark there to end it. So,
dude, I still need to play. I need to get back to Ragnarok. I've done about 10 hours of it, but there's just so many games. It's amazing.
I put 8 hours into that game in the end, because I was like, I'm killing the. I won't spoil it for you. I had to destroy one certain berserker character at the very end, and it took me days.
Yeah,
but I did it. So
I remember that with Valkyries. There was like the end one, and it did. Yeah. And Sylvan Nexus says rightly, gamers want everyone to play. And I do think the sort of accessibility revolution we've seen, especially in the last 5 years, people like Guerrilla Games, I mean, PlayStation does a lot for it, but so does Xbox and specific studios like Naughty Dog. It is amazing when they put all these features.
It's so good to see. Like I said, I won't run on too long for this, but just the fact that I just thought that when I play games, I didn't know until my friend James said, "Hey, do you know you can change the settings in this game?" I was like, "Oh my God, this makes it so much easier for me." I just never checked the settings. And then all of a sudden I then met other friends who were like, "Oh, we know people, and they get this testing company who work with Sony. Would you want to like have a go at it?" I was like, "Yeah." So once in a while I get to test the latest stuff to see what the accessibility is of it. And it's a lot of fun. I will say it looks like a hell of a nightmare when they're making it, because it's still in the alpha/beta stages. So it's like, oh, but at the same time, it's good to know, So it's kind of cool to say I played some of those games before they came out. So
that is super cool. Daniel, where can people follow you, or Open Bionics, whatever you want to plug? You got to plug something at the end.
I had to make my one private, but anyone here can follow me by you. We can put my one on there. It's just like, because of my job, I have to be a bit more privatized by it. Actually, sorry, I just seen someone in the chat talking about VR. Very quickly, want the VR stuff? I'm trying to push this because Jonathan, my brother, again, sorry Johnny, has tried to get me on VR, and even with the arm, it doesn't work. It's not like a Luke Skywalker arm where it has like just a proper hand. So unfortunately, unless it's a one-handed game, I can't play it. I find it really hard.
I love how this is tying stuff together. So I'm currently working a couple of days a week for Rapid Eye Movers, who did C Smash VRS, which is on PlayStation VR, and it's coming out on Quest on April 4th. I know that Johnny has a copy because I got him one to help me capture stuff for them, because I'm making content for him.
Of course, yeah.
But they want it to be the most accessible VR game, and so you play it one-handed, and you can actually serve one-handed now. Give it a go. Jump into C Smash VRS and let me know what you think. Because
I have to go to Johnny's and have a go at it, because it was the original VR on PS4. I tried. I could play Rick and Morty, but it was real struggle. So hopefully that's the next stage. So if anyone from PlayStation's listening, come on, let's get this going. Let's try and find this accessibility side for the people with upper and lower limb disabilities, so they can play them too.
This is such a great call out. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a call out. I'm putting it on my task list for tomorrow. But I'm going to ask VR developers whose games are available for one-handed players. It'd be good to find out. Looper says the Room VR is great one-handed, so that's another one. That's good. Walkabout Mini Golf. We've got people in the chat saying stuff now. But yeah, this is really, really good to see. Any links you want to promote, I've put Open Bionics links in the description of this video, but afterwards we can edit stuff and that. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for listening, and thank you for all the lovely messages I'm seeing. And the other plug is just like, if you need something 3D printed or you need some expertise on that, then you can follow my business, which is Handy Dan's 3D Prints. It's on the other side as well with my business. I still help people. My website's a little bit outdated, but if you find my Instagram, if you ever have any questions about stuff, I do teach people 3D printing and designing as well as having another job doing stuff. So got to keep myself busy, as we all do. So yeah.
That's
But
super.
yeah,
That's super.
seriously, dude, thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to doing this for a while, and thank you everyone for having me and listening to me and letting me waffle on as much as I did. So I appreciate it.
It's good, man. And I was saying to you before the show, I've been eager to get guests on as a regular thing, and something I've committed to this year is to try and get a guest on at least once a month, because it makes my job easier. Like today, I was just happy to ask questions and learn from you, and it's been really, really good. Some people were saying in the chat, because we're always trying to encourage people to say the like button. Do you want to give your thumbs up tattoo and just tell people to hit the like button?
Oh, I do that as well.
Oh, there you go, even better.
So, there you go. So we thought,
Hit the
let's
like
give it a
button.
thumbs up. Because you
All right,
listened to me. You
Daniel.
made it over an hour of listening to me. So
No, it's good. Daniel, we're going to credits now, but we are going to jump back at the end, so don't go anywhere, all right? You going to stay there?
yeah, I'll stay here, dude.
All right. Massive thank you, everyone. As you all know, there's a post-credits, so we'll be back after the credits. But thank you, everyone. Do hit the like button if you haven't already. Do subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of all future episodes of Myles Dyer Live. And if you ever have ideas of other guests or topics for future shows, let me know in the comments section below. But for now, let us know what your final thoughts are. Thanks, everyone.
Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness fading, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness fading, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. Thought I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness fading, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thanks, dude.
It was good. It was good. I mean, we're still live, by the way. This is
Oh.
yeah. Just before we start saying that person with that question. No, honestly, everyone. This is always just a bit of a candid ending where we sort of talk very fourth wall to everyone. But questions were really, really good. I mean, I always expect wonderful, thoughtful questions from everyone, but you made this show really easy for me because there was just so much coming in. Question I will end on for you is a very big out there question. Is tell me one thing, anything about either your condition, your living experience with it, or Open Bionics. Tell me one thing that would really surprise me about the journey that you think a lot of people don't maybe think about.
How much of it has made me come out of my shell as a person. Like I used
Oh
to be
yeah.
really quiet and very, very shy. Like I was really bad growing up, and now I'm like very, as you can see, very chatty. I've learned from life experiences, like if you get an opportunity, just send that email, say yes to certain things, and just go for it, man. Like hell, I even did last summer. I ended up becoming a model for the London Fashion Week Fashion Week on the catwalk, and it's only because I said yes. I shit myself, but I said yes, wearing makeup and everything. I looked a bit like Nightman from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but fuck it. I said it because I was like, you only live once, do something crazy. So there I was on this catwalk with loads of other people with disabilities. Yeah, and I didn't tell. Jonathan didn't know. Harriet, my partner, she didn't know. No, sorry, she did. She had to know because I had to go to this thing. No one knew.
Why are you putting makeup on?
I was doing it. It was horrible. It was awesome, and I met so many new people. And you sometimes just got to do things that get you out of your comfort zone. So, sometimes you have to do it. I want to shit myself half the time. I'm so nervous about it, but you just want to do it because you just don't know where it could lead. You just don't know where it could lead. Hell, one thing I didn't mention to everyone was one person I worked with who saw my work. This is the most craziest thing, Miles. I don't know if you saw it on my story or one of my videos, but I don't know if anyone can read whose sign that is. I don't know if you can read that signature.
Is it mirrored? No. Okay. Is it Kate?
Yeah.
Kate.
Who's one of the biggest singers in the world, and her song was on
Kate Bush.
Yeah. I got to work with Kate Bush. I worked with Kate Bush last year. She was fucking awesome. She was the most nicest woman. She even signed my covers as well. So if you look up her, she did a vinyl special thing, and I'm part of a thing called Visible People, and they were like, this person, they couldn't say who it was, has seen your work, would love to have you on their thing. Their agents are going to call you, and they were like, yeah, well, this is Kate Bush's people, and I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, I work with the legend, and she is the most humble woman I have ever met. Straight up love that woman. And that's because I said yes as well. I was like, don't know who this person is, let's say yes. And I just like, oh shit, this is Kate Bush. So, it's crazy. Cool. It's crazy what you see and say yes to. And again, another experience. I was so cacking myself, but I was so proud of myself for doing it. You just got to push the limits and just say what, there's no point saying I can't do it, I'm scared. Sometimes you've got to use that adrenaline and go for it because, I've done things where I've gone, oh my God, that was so stupid of me, but now I know never to do that again. So.
That is also true. And it is the thing of like always live one foot out your comfort zone. So, yeah.
Straight up.
Daniel, thanks so much, dude. Everyone, have a wonderful week. This time next week, I'm going to be in Boston. I actually land an hour or two before I would normally be doing the show. So I'm not sure if I will be doing a show. Hopefully I will be, but I might be taking a break next week. TBC. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys next week. I've got the thumbnail designed already. It's me in Boston. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But everyone have a wonderful week. Love you all. And thanks for all the kind words. Sorry I've not been that active on Empathy Arcade Discord. I've just been dealing with a lot in my life at the moment, but I'm getting through it one day at a time. So, yeah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you.